Hello, everybody, and welcome to Paranormal Nation Radio. Not so normal tonight. How is Denise and Ron doing?
Frustrated with Facebook.
Doing good.
I know.
Hey, Nigel.
Yep, Nigel's in here right on time every week.
And I got it shared to Ron's mom.
Did you? Okay, good.
Yes. So everybody knows we are having trouble between StreamYard and Facebook. They're having a pissing match. And so far, Facebook's winning. So just keep that in mind. The shows are still going to be on time unless they're canceled for some reason. Just going to have to come out and find us or wait till we go live and find out where we are.
That's about it and everything. The only thing we can schedule ahead of time right now is YouTube and Rumble.
And Facebook, if it's on my Facebook page for some reason.
Your Facebook, I don't understand.
Yeah, me
The only
either.
thing I think it is, you've got it under Paranormal Pride, right? See, that don't make any sense. Hi, Susan. But yeah, because the Bill of Rights Network has been on here for 5 years.
Hey, Mom.
We have plenty of followers according to their new little deal they give us. New rules, 100 followers in over 60 days and everything. And I'm like, we've been on there that long. But we go to schedule it ahead of time and it pops up. This is scripted. And I'm like, what the hell are they talking about?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
And Susan, Ron's birthday is not until August. So
Denise's birthday.
Yeah, my birthday was Friday. And you told me happy birthday twice, so we're good.
Well, she's giving Ron an last year's birthday.
10 months ago. Good for you.
See? We're thinking about you, Ron.
So, but yeah, we want everybody to know that there are technical difficulties between StreamYard and Facebook, and just keep that in mind. And if you think that we're going to be on, just check us out around 5 o'clock on Tuesdays. And if we're live, you're going to see us, and check me out on Mondays at 7. And if I'm live, great. Yesterday, my guest canceled around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I just didn't have time to go out and find another guest that fast. So that's why the show was canceled. But next week, my guest is already confirmed and I'm good. And the people I was going to have on last night, they basically just started a new job and they couldn't really call in sick on their first week on the job. And so I rescheduled them for July 1st. So Haunted Souls Paranormal will be July 1st and Teal Gray will be Monday. So, but yeah, I got us a guest tonight too, Phil Gibson. We were going to have him on a couple weeks ago, but he couldn't come on. And so we talked about his post. And so now he's on and he can talk about it some, or we can talk about something else. So regardless, we got Phil Gibson coming on the show tonight.
Welcome, Phil.
Hey, Carl. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks, Denise, Ron. Appreciate it. It's great being here.
So the post we talked about, I got to go back and get it. But it was really good. It was a really good post. And it brought up a lot of things for people in the paranormal community that happens all the time. And so I'm going to go find it, and you guys can talk with Phil a little.
Let's see. That post was about fake paranormal pictures and different things going on and everything. And I guess you had quite comments on that post. Denise was telling me about it. We talked a little bit about it on the show.
Yeah, we kind of went through your post sentence by sentence and talked about it a little bit, because things like that happen all the time. You know, and people we're going to go back to the G word, gullible, and they believe everything that they think they see.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you can't see if there is fishing line on something. You can't see who's behind the door. I mean, let's be honest. If something came flying through that door there, and I said nobody was here and it was just us, you'd think that there was something major had happened, but I'd be lying because there is somebody here.
I was watching I don't know if you've heard of Alien Nation. It's
Oh, yeah.
a network on TV. Yeah.
I have it on my Direct TV stream. Yeah.
Going how they fake all this stuff. You know, the door opening, the
Wow.
drawers and everything else. I'm like, yeah, it'd be easy to do.
Oh yeah.
But what do you get out of it? That's what I don't understand.
Well, it's the gullible. It's the gullible people that, you know, they're out for likes and views. That's the main, you know, that's one of the main thing to fake things is for likes and views. It's capitalizing on the vulnerability and the gullibleness of people that will, like Denise said, that will believe, or like you said, anybody that will believe anything that you throw out in front of them. Yeah. And you know, it's not thing, you know, for the serious investigator. That's why I think there's a difference between ghost hunters and paranormal investigators. I think there's a huge. I know it seems like it's just a name, but I think it's more. I don't know when I think of ghost hunters, I think it's more just a thrill seeking. But I think of paranormal investigating, I think it's the research, the you know, the passion, you know, for wanting to, you know, uncover answers of the paranormal, you know.
Finding the truth.
I think the ones that are, you know, getting sucked into the, you know, to the fraud is the gullible ones, the enthusiasts, the ones that will pay for that will pay $100 to go on a public hunt with 45 people, you know, in a building, tromping around a location.
And they get that EVP that says "get out."
Yeah, when it could, you know, it could have been, you know, 20 or 30 of the people out there talking at the same time, you know.
Yeah.
It's you know, people, you know, you have to start somewhere. You know, what I'm saying is, it's like people have to start somewhere, and most people do start by going to public hunts. I've been, you know, invited to do, you know, hold public investigations, and I've declined.
Night, Nigel.
Because I'm a little too I'm too serious when it comes to investigating, and I think, you know, getting 25 people and walking them around the Monroe House or walking them around Old Lake County Jail, you know, trying to get legitimate evidence is a waste of time, because I feel like I know people, you know, I've been told, you know, hey, you know, people want to meet you, Phil. You know, they want to, you know, hang out with you, and, you know, I'm like, that's fine. You know, I want to meet people too, but I'd rather meet people, you know, under the you know, by sitting down and hanging out with them and chatting with them. I don't want to take them on a public investigation and not give them, you know, a sincere, legitimate investigation. And that's why I've declined numerous public hunts, you know, hosting public investigations, because I'm just too serious. You know, I want it to be, I want the people to have a great experience, not just get scared, you know, because that's what they're there. Most of them people, that's what they're there for, just to get scared.
Right.
You know, they're there just to get a fright. They're not there to, you know, that, you know, great piece of audio evidence, or, you know.
Believe me, I understand. We used to be the tour guides at the Sally House in Atchison.
Awesome.
And
did you really?
Had
Yeah.
400 or 500 people come in there.
Yeah.
And somebody would be there holding their phone or their recorder, and they'd be going, "Is there anyone here with me?" And it's like, these 400 other people didn't give you any clue that there's other people here with you. You know, and, you know, so me as a tour guide, I saw the, you know, the reason I was doing it was to get the truth out about the paranormal, about the house, about the history, how important all these things are, that the investigation is only part of it.
Yeah.
You have all this other stuff that goes along with it. And so I would help people learn the history of the location we were at, but also teach them how to use the equipment and explain to them why you might want to get this by yourself with a couple other people as opposed to 400 of the people that you just met in this 1,200 square foot house. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, and it's everywhere we went, we kind of did that with people when we would go to.
Oh, you're also selling an investigation. I mean, when we first started, you couldn't rent the house out for a night.
No.
But as as we were there, we got the chamber to open up and the owner to open up, and then you could do overnights there. Yeah, we're selling overnights. You said, come back. You could bring your own team in.
Yeah.
You have the whole house to yourself. Do whatever you want.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I mean, I understand. A lot of places hold public events to help fund. It costs money to operate a location. I understand that.
Yeah.
And I don't fault people for that. It's just me personally. I don't want to host. I don't know. I would rather it be me and a few other people and make it intimate and be able to use these different devices like our Zoom recorders or our tri-field meters or our EDI pluses, and and have a couple people there with you and be able to like personally and intimately show them how it works instead of having
that is a nice way to go.
Yeah.
And having 25 people that are talking and being distractful to the people that are actually trying to learn and trying to get understand the devices that
I
we
agree.
use.
Yeah, totally. Because you can control 2, maybe 3 people.
Yeah.
There with you. Try controlling 40 or 50 or even 25 in the same room with you. You can't do that.
You can't legitimately do an investigation with that many people in one place.
No.
You can do a tour and say, this is your tour.
Yeah,
if you want to
exactly.
investigate, you need to do something different.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah, we were doing those 4-hour, walkthroughs of the Sally House. When we first got there, the very first time we went as tourists,
Mm-hmm.
I was so disappointed in the tour that we got. It was self-guided and there were little signs on the wall that said all this bullshit, but it's what made me go, I got to find out the truth.
Yeah. If you ask the tour guides there, a question, they just point at the sign. They didn't have a clue really about, other than, the crap story that they were told to tell. But
yeah.
So they were just clowns in the circus pretty much, right?
Pretty much. Yeah.
That was it.
And
they had they had the basement. You couldn't go in the basement. They had the
dining room roped off.
The dining room was roped off. The nursery, you couldn't go in.
Yeah, it was roped off too.
Hmm.
And so basically, when we got involved, I started using the truth as opposed to some video that they made.
One of the first things I brought up was like, why don't, the basement's one of the most active spots. I was like, well, how come you can't?
Yeah.
How come we can't take people down there? Oh,
well,
a couple of the stairs are bad. Okay, well, let's fix them.
Fix them.
And they're like, oh, whoa, we never thought of that.
It took us 2 years to
aha moment.
Yeah, they got it.
But they did. They eventually, now they can't go down there during tours since we stopped doing tours.
Yeah, and they opened up.
They won't allow them down there. Won't allow them down there like we used to.
Yeah, yeah, they're back to the old crap.
But yeah, that was my thing, was to educate them, and then, hey, these are the other things that are available.
But they were setting records. They were setting sales records when we were there.
Oh yeah, it was nothing. 300.
Oh, I used to hear about Sally House all the time. I'm like, man, that was a hot spot. That's in Atchison, Kansas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
oh man, yeah, Sally House was a hit.
It was not so much, but that's a whole different story.
Right.
But yeah, we did that for 7 years, and I don't regret it. I met a lot of good people from it. Got to be on Ghost Adventures because of it. All that stuff. And yes, I have an opinion on Zach, and I'm not going to share it.
I'd go to, if you're going to Atchison, I would go to the McIntyre Villa before there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there's other than Sally's, there's no reason to go there now, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd go to the McIntyre Villa.
Yep.
I would avoid Molly's
Starting to
Hollow.
see that more.
Yeah. In fact, she just Stephanie just had
Stephanie.
the Ghost Brothers there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw pictures of her. She posted something with I think it was
She
Galen.
was great.
I think it was.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun when we went to her house when it was her house. We had a lot of fun when we went there when it wasn't her house.
Yeah.
We're some of the few people that can say we went in it with the owners that owned it before her dad bought her the house, and then and then with her.
Yeah, it did seem different the second time.
Yeah.
I mean, the first time it was like, that's a cool looking house, but
yeah, I mean,
I didn't think it was that active.
It was actually one of the houses that we drove by on the trolley tour, because I was also one of the trolley tour guides, and we had talked about it and said if that house ever comes up for sale, we'd love to buy it. And we already had our hearts set on moving to Florida, so that's part of the reason why we didn't even look at it. But it was for sale when we went went there the very first time back in 2017. So we got to look around it while it was for sale. But that's a whole other story too. But you made a lot of good points though about basically the look at me syndrome is what I call it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, a lot of people go and they put out videos of these unusual things of what they're doing. And a lot of the videos, they don't show you that they got nothing for 7 hours, and only 15 minutes did they get something. They're trying to make mountains out of molehills on the other 7 hours, not on the actual possibly legitimate stuff that they did get.
Yeah. What also drives me nuts about that is let's see, I'm trying to remember where I was going with this. I just kind of lost my train of thought there. Yeah, go ahead and keep talking. I've got to remember what I was going to say though.
Well, that's okay. There's so much to say when it comes to the paranormal, and basically we all have our pet peeves of things that irritate the living daylights out of us. Mine is the flashlight trick. Soon as I see that, I stop watching. That's when I go get something to eat, and that I lose my interest in the validity of anything else after that.
Yeah. I was trying to find that post. That's what I was looking down for. I was finding that post on my Facebook, and I actually found it. There it is. It was quite a ways down. There it is.
Yeah, it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
If you got a flashlight that has a switch on it,
oh yeah,
now that's pretty impressive.
If they have to do this like I do to get it on, then
I'll click. Yeah, that's I mean that's the way that should be done. I mean it's all for I think these YouTubers. I'm not saying all YouTubers, but the major channels. There's a reason why they get to these big statuses, and it's not. I'm not saying this out of a thing of jealousy, but they get there by buying likes and buying followers, which is possible on YouTube. You can buy these likes and followers, and you can tell when somebody does it too. And they fake their evidence. And there's been debunkers finding masks on these videos where they can, these expert video people that can sit there and say, oh yeah, this is where the mask went in. What they'll do is they'll go into these locations, they'll take a video of a certain area, and then they will go to that area during they'll take a video of an area or a picture of an area, throughout the night. Then they'll go to that area and do the investigation, and they'll put the mask over a certain area, staircase. They'll mask the staircase, and they'll have somebody at the top pushing a ball down right in front of you. But little they know that happened at a different time. So they can mask these things and add them into these videos and make it look like it's happening at the moment.
Wow.
But really, it happened early on at the night where they sit there and they choreographed everything. They sit there and put somebody above and push the ball down the stairs when nobody was there. Then they masked that into the video later on, and to make it seem like they were standing at the bottom of the stairs, like, oh, the ball came rolling down the stairs. No, it's a mask.
Well, you can do that using StreamYard. If you're filming a little segment of it, use StreamYard. Top of the staircase, put a green screen up there. It shows the staircase going up. You can have somebody behind that green screen do anything you want them to do. Drop a ball, make sounds and everything. And it would look like it really happened. AI generated. Look at that crap.
Oh, yeah. And that's scary. I mean, in a lot of ways. I mean, not just crap like the paranormal, okay? And I don't mean that the paranormal is crap, but the minor things that AI can generate compared to the other things that is a much, much bigger issue that it can generate. One of the things that we saw that wasn't generated with AI, but was generated with a hologram,
Wow.
It made it on national TV, but you knew it was fake because it never made the news.
Right. And it was
very
vivid. You could see
nobody
it.
ever talked about it.
Even the people standing there don't even go, "Oh, look at that." Nothing. They ignore it.
Because it happened.
Until they showed them the video later.
Then they saw
they didn't see anything before. And then they showed them the video and they're like, somebody walking across a door.
And what I'm talking about is on Ghosts of Morgan City in Captain Caviar's house, which sounds fake in itself. But just there, Ben Hansen's looking at this this video, this live camera, and he yells for these people to come because
I remember that.
he saw. You remember that?
Yeah. Is that the one where it shows that it shows like? Is that the one where it shows that it looked like a woman that was carrying a tray and it walked past the door?
Yeah.
And they had some different camera angles about it again.
Yeah, I mean, all the investigators, they all saw it, the video, and they all went crazy, which
they should have.
Yeah,
because
they didn't know.
They didn't know.
They didn't tell them.
They didn't know that production had created this.
Right.
Yeah.
Neither did Ben Hansen. That's the reason why we never hear anything else about it ever again.
That piece of evidence could probably be the most, probably one of the best pieces of evidence ever. I mean, that would be all over everywhere. You're right. You have it once.
It was real.
The first thing I said when we were watching it live on TV, watching it, when they put it on TV, I go, "That's a hologram." And I mean, I did it right away. Yep. I did not have to watch it 4 or 5 times. I just that's a hologram. That's not what spirits look like. And he looks over at me like, "How?" And then
I rewound it and watched it. And I went, "Yeah, that is." And I was like, I said, I guarantee they didn't tell all the other people in there. It was production that did it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if
they have a different
camera, wouldn't have been so surprised.
Didn't they have a different camera angle, like a different camera angle as well from like the, we saw it when they were, when it was panning across the door.
Yeah.
I thought I saw another angle where it was like walking straight on, like straight away.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like a straight shot.
But
like it knew, hey, this is what's going to happen right here.
And after we met Sarah Lemos, I can't think that she would have been on that.
They didn't.
No.
She seems very
sincere.
Very sincere, very trusting.
Well, yeah, all of them on there.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah. I know Katie personally. Actually, Katie's staff. I know him. Yeah, I know him personally, and
yeah,
you don't want to talk to Katie about me.
No.
Uh-oh.
Actually, Katie, she needs to give me a call, and she knows it. But yeah, we just saw Brandon last week or a couple weeks ago up in South Carolina. So we know all about them. And but yeah, I've never brought this up to KD because of the fact that it wasn't his equipment that did this.
Yeah.
And I didn't bring it up to Sarah when I met her because why? It's not worth it. Because here I am going, I think it's fake, and we all know that it is. It's not like it's news. But What I did bring up to Sarah was that the guy that she's working with now is a Fruit Loop and an asshole. But that's a whole different problem.
Who's she working? I don't keep track with her anymore. I've seen her. I've seen her. I get her post on my Facebook. But who's she working
He was
with?
working on Ghost Town Terror.
Okay, that's that would be
Tim
the
Wood.
Ray Chasers. Huh?
No, Tim Wood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. That probably got canceled.
Oh no, I know. Oh, I know it is. Okay, yeah, the Ghost Sound Terror. That was the one that I couldn't watch but like 5 or 10 minutes, so I had to turn it off because I was like,
Yep.
this is rubbish. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's Tim.
Pretty
I
hard.
mean, if you ever watch live sci-fi, then you already know what you're going to see. It's all demons.
It's all
And-
demons. I was just about to say that.
So I had to deal with him at the Sally house. So
Yeah.
Oh.
I have, let's see, I have more respect for the fire ants outside. And I'm just saying.
Yeah,
So-
and that's another. The demon thing is another. Although the demon thing, I think, is starting to lose its steam a little bit, which I'm happy, and I'm glad I was in the forefront of like voicing my opinion. It's funny though how people sway their. At first, back a year and a half ago when this whole demon thing really took off, I was on Facebook just railing them, and I was getting harassed by friends. I was getting harassed by people that I never thought would fall victim to the whole, protecting others, protecting these other people like Corbin Bentley and stuff like that, who was a known faker. And I had friends of mine that were like backing him left and right, and I'm just like, dude, these guys are frauds. Well, how can you sit there and back these people? And now it's almost come full circle to where people are finally seeing the light, and the people that were trashing me before are like out speaking about it now.
Oh, what's that make you think of? Oh, you have to stay 6 feet away from people and you have to get this shot. And I mean, everything goes full circle and it just takes some time.
Yeah.
So
Right.
when you know that you're right, you stand up for it, and that's all you have to do.
I think people are clout. There's a lot of people that were clout chasing, and they didn't want to step on the toes of these people that could give them a lot of publicity. And you got these YouTubers that have these monster, followers, millions of followers, and they, they're on TikTok and have 25,000, nightly, viewers, and they knew it, and you're coming out and dogging them, and these people are like, oh no, they're good, they're trying to like clout chase, and they're trying to get their foot in the door, and it's not worth it. I mean,
Oh, I know. I just recently went up against somebody who thinks he's really famous because he's had a lot of opportunities at TV shows.
Mhm.
Opportunities. Not that he got on there, but he had opportunities. And he shared something, and I told Carl and Ron about this last week. He shared something political, but he's in Canada, so he's talking about our elections.
His vote means nothing.
huh?
I mean, and so I just told him, I said, well, I know how I'm voting, basically. And if you think that this person has anything to do with Hitler, then you're a nut job. And he thought for sure that all of his people were going to follow him and go, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about.
Right.
I actually had more people that went on my side than his. But, how I vote is up to me. And I mean, I actually was very nice to the woman who went off on me, telling me I was crazy and all this other stuff. I told her
She lives in California, if that tells you anything.
And I just basically told her, I said, you vote your way and I'll vote mine. And it was very nice meeting you today. And I hope you have a great day.
Yep. Keep your crap in California. Don't bring it any further.
That's right. That's all you can do.
My take it, bless your heart. Because, when people hear bless their heart here, it's not a compliment.
It's not a compliment.
No.
Yeah.
I'll never visit that state again.
No.
I've never been there.
But again, it's the same sort of thing. People want their moment in the sun, no matter what it is. whether it's fact or not. If it's going to stir shit up, they're going to share it.
Yeah.
Post it
Yeah.
or make a video about it. And I'm going to say it, and I'm going to maybe get some people out there that listen to us think, but if you're getting your news and information from TikTok, stop it.
Right.
It's not
It's not news.
news.
Propaganda.
No,
I just when it comes to TikTok, I have a lot of friends that are, do some pretty cool stuff on TikTok, when it comes to paranormal stuff. My friend Nick Carboni and Bree, they do their little shows on TikTok, and I really enjoy those. There's some really good stuff. There's some really good paranormal content, but man, I they do cross platforms. They do YouTube. They do TikTok and stuff like that. And Bree, Nick and Bree, they do their show, and I really enjoyed that. They went to I'm trying to think, where were they at recently? They were out. Oh, they were at the out in Salamanca, New York, the Wildwood Asylum,
Oh,
and great, man. They did a live, and it was fantastic. But the problem is they're not chasing clout. I know Nick personally. I don't know Bree. I never met her, but it's his girlfriend. Um, but I know Nick personally, and he is not one of those people. So he uses the platform for research and and to do his paranormal investigations. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people on TikTok and just on YouTube that just they do it just for the likes and the views, and
monetization of it.
yeah, and they're a lot of these people are constantly saying, okay, hit that like, the subscribe button, and donate to help us, do you know I,
I've never
I know
said that to anybody.
you know
If you want to like anything of ours, like it. If you don't like it,
Right.
don't like it.
Exactly.
It's my day in the sun is over. I'm too old for that kind of shit.
yeah
I want to do this because I think it's fun. I like meeting people like you, and I even like meeting people like the lady who decided she wanted to be pissy with me. That's fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But that's the whole thing about the paranormal is, for me and Ron, and most likely Carl too, is it's the people that we meet.
Right.
Friends that we make, and that part there you can't take away.
No, there's a lot of. I've met a lot of good people in the field. I met a lot of great people through Ghost, through the paranormal, and people that I've never met a lot of these people that talk on Facebook, talk on social media with, but I feel like I feel like I've known them, and I feel like I can call them friends even though I've never met them before, and it's just a unique bond we have that. Yeah, I think it's just some kind of unique bond that paranormal enthusiasts have with each other. It's a different. It's like I'm starting to meet a lot of people with through astrophotography as well, and that's what I do as well. And there's not a lot of toxicity in the astrophotography field. Not yet, not like it is in the paranormal. But AI is really starting to like pollute the photography field, and a lot of people are pissed. I mean, it really it kind of reminds me of what happened with the whole YouTube and demon fad that took over the paranormal about a year and a half ago. It reminds me a lot of that when it started out. Um, I think it's something that is going to happen for a little bit. It's going to be it's here for a while. It's going to stick around. So people are pissed. Like people in the photography field are pissed because it's like they're posting these pictures of like tornadoes and rainbows and all kinds of different nature shots and everything, and everybody's like, dude, that's fucking AI, man. It's not photography. And finally, I got fed up with it. I posted one of my astro shots that I got of the Bode's Galaxy that I took uh, over the winter, and I posted it to the page. And you wouldn't believe how many people were like, "Oh my God, finally a real picture on our page," because it was so inundated with AI. And I posted, like I said, I posted one of my projects that I did uh, over the winter time, and they really loved it. So, and
Yeah,
And
we've met a lot. We've met a lot of people we never would have met if it wasn't for paranormal.
Oh yeah.
I mean, when we were at Sally House, my job, I travel around a lot. I was in Topeka and I was working on a machine. The lady comes up, taps me on the shoulder. She says, "Hi." I looked there and I went, "I saw you were at Sally House, weren't you?" She goes, "Yep."
wow,
She recognized me and I recognized her, and we
yeah,
talked for quite a while,
I had people do the same thing to
just
me
all over the place.
at Walmart. And the thing is we live 90 minutes from the Sally House. So if people where we were living was seeing us, it was
Yep.
either from that, or I had a couple say that they saw me on TV. And I
Met
was like,
Susan and Mike,
yep.
Carl and Gary,
Mm-hmm.
Dara, Lisa,
Now
Caitlin.
and now you.
We've met lots of people.
yeah.
But I understand where you're coming from, where you feel like you've known them for a long time because you have
yeah.
so
Yeah.
many things in common. And so, and you said you're an astrophotographer. Does that mean outer space kind of taking pictures?
Yeah, yeah, you can do it. It's astrophotography can mean taking pictures of the moon. It can mean taking pictures of galaxies, taking pictures of nebula, taking pictures of different different site different pictures of the galaxy, different bodies in the galaxy in space. Yeah, what I do is I have a location I go to. It's a really dark sky. They grade skies by Bortle. It's called Bortle skies, which the lower the number is, the darker the sky, and then the higher number is the light polluted skies of the city. And there's a place I go out in east of here called LaGrange, Indiana. It has a Bortle 4 sky, which is a pretty dark sky. And I'll go out there and I'll set my what they call a star tracker. I'll set my lens and my camera up on the star tracker, and I'll get my app out to find out um, what certain um, heavenly body or whatever you want to call it that I want to photograph for the night, and then I'll be able to let me get to the basics. What the star tracker is you set your camera and lens on it, and it's programmed. It's made runs by batteries or power, whatever you want. You can hook it up to a to a outlet and run it by power. But what it does, it tracks the night sky because the Earth is always rotating, and so the stars are always moving throughout the sky throughout the night. So what a star tracker does is you find you polar line your star tracker with Polaris, the North Star, and you take your camera lens and your camera, and you focus on the object that you want to photograph. And so, and the tracker itself will track, like if you focus, say for instance, on the Bode's Galaxy or Andromeda, you get your photo in the um, in the viewfinder of your camera, and then throughout the night it takes long exposure photos, so it just continuously tracks the star tracker will follow the object across the night sky, which will allow you to just set a it's an automatic picture. You hook it up and you can set your exposures, you can set how many pictures you want to take, you can do this, and you just push a button and it just takes pictures automatically. You can sit back and kind of relax and just soak in the sky, and it'll just take pictures throughout the night, and you get all these exposures. And you get a couple hours, few hours of exposures, and you take them home, put them on your computer, and you stack them in a program called there's Deep Sky Stacker, there's different other stackers that you can use to stack these different photos. The more the better, the more data you get, the better quality photo you get. And it stacks them and lines everything up. So if you do multiple nights or something like that, if you go out one night for an hour, or go out the next night for a couple hours, it'll take you try to get the general photo, and it'll stack these photos and try to line everything up. And then once you get it all lined up, it'll give you what they call a TIFF file, which is a file that you can actually throw into Photoshop and do your processing. And it brings, most of the TIFF files look really dark. It doesn't look like you have much in there. Then once you start, processing it and what they call do curves and different techniques, and it'll bring that picture finally comes out. All the data comes out from the and so yeah, I get out there and I'll take 8-9 hours worth of photos, 3.5 minute exposures, and stack them and come out with a pretty cool photo. Like the one Bode's Galaxy I just took a picture of recently was probably my most intense project, and I was blown away once I got it figured out. Just to think that you could sit there with a $300 lens and a $500 DSLR camera and take a photo of a galaxy in pretty high detail that it's 13, 14 million light years away. It's blows my mind, and it's so rewarding. It's just as rewarding as even more rewarding than catching that Class A EVP in a location that that you go to. It's exciting.
Okay, now that you've said all that, have you ever caught anything in there that made you go, "Oh my God, we're not the only intelligent life out there"?
I'll be honest with you. The only thing I've ever seen out in the skies are satellites, Starlink, the ISS, and shooting stars. Meteors. I've never seen anything that. I've spent 3-4 hours at a time out there just looking up at the stars, and I've never seen anything that just made me feel that way. I go out there every night hoping that I would catch something like that, but it's never happened.
So do you have a dream location that you would love to go shoot the stars from?
Hey, it might need a different spot.
Skinwalker Ranch?
Yeah, right in that area.
Skinwalker or anywhere out in the deserts of New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, in those Bortle 1 skies that are super dark to where it gets so dark that the Milky Way casts a shadow. Oh yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
And then plus, it'd give me a chance to go out and investigate these old Wild West towns as well. These old ghost towns out in the West. I can set my tripods up and do all that stuff and go do a little ghost hunting while I'm at it, or paranormal investigating, I should say. Yeah.
There's some. I'd say one of those places you might want to check out is Las Vegas, New Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. They've got good food. They have haunted hotels, and it's dark as hell at night. And there are bears and other things, but yeah, it's one of those places that I'd go back to.
What was that hotel we stayed at?
The Plaza.
The Plaza, yeah.
Plaza Hotel. And I mean, the La Castaneda was down the street.
Okay.
So that one was under renovation when we were there, but it was the Plaza Hotel that I wanted to stay in. So, and we stayed during COVID. So, there wasn't hardly anybody there, and it was great. And I saw a spirit when I was walking down the stairs, and boy, the front desk guy, all he wanted to do was talk about it after that. So we had a really good time there. But do you use the same thought process when you're taking pictures of the nebula as you do when you're doing paranormal investigating?
No, it's totally different. It's totally different.
Have to be fast with that, right? No slow exposures.
No paranormal, or when it comes to like nebula and stuff like that, you can just set your when you start taking pictures of the night sky, you can just set your equipment up, set your intervalometer to your exposures, your 3.5 minute exposures, taking 50 pictures, and just push the button and let it roll. And then you gotta focus. You gotta get it focused. You gotta find your target and all that stuff like that. It's a lot more complicated than when it comes to. I don't take a lot of pictures during paranormal investigations. I I might take pictures just to, of the location itself. But as far as like during investigations, I don't take a whole lot of pictures actually.
We don't either. We used to.
Yeah. I've kind of laid off on the video too. I don't really take a lot of video either because um, I was on a team before. I kind of our team's kind of our since we kind of disbanded about a year and a half ago, and just I was going through kind of a case of burnout and irritation of the field itself. So I kind of went on my own, and I took a break, and I was taking a break at the time, and then my other team kind of, the other team members decided to go ahead and start up another team, which I'm not mad at them for. I don't expect them to wait for them. So we're still friends and everything. We were called Heart City Paranormal. We formed in 2017. Like I said, we kind of disbanded and back early last year, and yeah, it was one of those things where it's just I don't know. I was burnt out and I was irritated with the direction of the paranormal field, which people keep telling me don't let them dictate your enthusiasm. Don't let them affect what you want to do in the field. But it's so hard not to when you see these people making a mockery out of something that you have such a passion for, and faking stuff that faking evidence and claim that they caught stuff that you have spent years trying to catch yourself, and knowing that they faked it just to get views and likes. It was very frustrating, man. I was really pissed, and it broke me. It broke my it got me to like you know um, kind of leave the field for a little bit and take a break. And it was very irritating, especially when like I said, when you have such a passion for something and they're out there just making a mockery out of it. It's I know I shouldn't let people dictate my passion and what I do in the field, but it's it is frustrating. And if you have a passion for anything and you see people just making a fool out of it, it affects you.
I agree.
And
It does.
that's what it did. That's what it did to me. And I've since I've kind of as things are kind of calming down in the field now. There's still a lot of bullshit going on. Like the same old shit. People taking pictures of like dirt spots on the wall or pictures and leaves and saying there's a Bigfoot out there or there's that shit will always be there. But I can get past that. I bitch about it occasionally, but I kind of get past it. It's starting to kind of mellow out now, and we're starting to see the demon thing kind of disappearing. Not as you don't see a lot of YouTubers using that as clickbait anymore. I mean, you still see them, but it's not every YouTuber using that clickbait. We caught this demon at this demon house because these locations are actually stepping up and saying, I don't want you, you know, coming into my location and claiming there's demons running around. I will, if you release this video, I will sue you because this is
They
my
need
location.
to.
Yeah.
Because I know that, a certain group had said that there was a demon at like McPike Mansion, and there's not.
Not at all.
If you ever get a chance to
Yeah.
go there. But there are no demons there. And, we had been volunteers there since 2009. And it's like, if there had been demons here, wouldn't one of us have known it?
You would think
yeah.
so.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't think a demon would have that much. You would think a demon would have that much, like willpower. Oh, they've been hanging out for 10 years or whatever. I'm just gonna let them just, if they're that evil, they're gonna do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to trip you up the steps or something, something to let you know that they're
Right.
there. And so that's one of the things, false claims is bad. I mean,
Yeah.
it's to the point to where it will make you second guess every location that a group goes to if they have demons at every location. And like I tell him, I said a lot of times it's the demon in their pocket the one that they bring out for show and tell. That's the problem. It's not that the location has one, the person that's there has one. Whether it's real or perceived.
Do other investigators send you their pictures for you to look at?
They not lately.
Yeah, we don't
They
have
did.
it as much either, but
They did it early on. There's some people that send me videos or pictures and say, hey, can you take a look at this for me?
yeah,
And I would I'd take a look at it. And most of them were friends of mine. It wasn't just friends that I met through the paranormal or through social media, um, and not usually random. So I was like, I said, no, I think that's just pareidolia, or I think it's just a a dirty window, or which is also pareidolia. But not lately. I haven't had a whole lot of people send me much of anything lately. I think a lot of them know that they see my post on Facebook and they probably don't want to send it to me thinking they'll get lit up.
yeah.
Um, I did set a psychic up one time, and on purpose. 'Cause I was just pissed off one night, and I was seeing all these people saying, "Oh, I'm a psychic. I do this and that." So I said, you know what? I took a picture of my dog was sitting on the couch, and I took my camera, my photo, and I did a 100x zoom on my dog, and I caught this, the side of their face and the fur of the face, and I took a picture of it and I posted it on social media. I said, man, I am this. I've never been usually this afraid, because I've never been this freaked out because I took this picture and I think there's something going. I think there's a portal opening up in my apartment, and I'm really freaked out right now. I'm usually not the one to get freaked out, and I had immediately,
Okay.
I had this girl message me, and she said, "Oh, I sensed something really bad about that." She
Oh
said,
yeah.
"If I was you, I would get cleansed." I say, did you remember going to a location, and maybe getting something following you home? I said,
Right.
and I kind of played along. I was like, well, you know what? Now that I think about it, I did go to the Monroe house about a week ago, and I said, maybe you got something picked up. She's like, Phil, if I was you, I would get really, I would cleanse yourself, and I would, do something about that. I said, what should I do? She said, I would literally, do this and do this and do this and do this. And she started going. I said, so you can sense something pretty evil about that. She said, yeah, it's not really positive. I sense this. I'm like, hold on. I'm gonna tell you something. It might piss you off right now. That picture I posted was my dog blown up to 100x zoom. It was nothing. And she's like, "Oh, that's real funny." And she got busted right then. That she knew she was. And see, that's the problem I have. I'm not saying there's not. I'm not saying there's not psychics out there. I'm very skeptical of them. But I'm not saying I can't sit there and say that there's no such thing as psychics or physical mediums. But I think most of them are full of shit. I think the
Yes.
majority of them are full of shit.
Hmm.
Um, with social media easily accessible, people's lives are on social media. They can just get there and look at your social media and gather so much information and put you in a psychic reading and probably nail. And they're going, oh my god, they know everything about me,
Yeah,
and they know this, they know that.
it's like you've heard me speak.
Yeah,
Because that's one of the things. I mean, I heard somebody do a reading on YouTube. Okay. And so I wrote down some of the key things that she said, and I went to the person's Facebook profile and found it all.
exactly.
And if I did a little bit more searching, I could find out even more information from obituaries online and things like that
Hmm.
that
Yep.
says different things. And it's like, yeah, you were her favorite. According, the obituary says that, it's your grandma. You were
Even
beloved by
nicknames,
her,
even nicknames. That
Yeah.
not a lot of people would know. That the only time they maybe post that nickname was in that obituary, and they're like, "Whoa, only my family knew that nickname." Did
Or
you?
one was a tattoo. She said, she goes, I'm, the psychic says, or the medium says, I see a butterfly. She goes, does a butterfly have any significance to you? Ask the question. That is one of the things that I cannot stand is the question asking. And,
like you should already know. So you're the psychic. You tell me.
Yeah.
Does it mean something? And tell me what it means.
Because we've ran into some real ones, and they don't ask questions.
No, they don't ask it
let
like
out
that.
tell you.
Yeah.
They said, I'm getting the message, and this is what they're saying.
Right.
Yeah, when I get a message, it's say
stuff that they wouldn't know.
Yeah, that they couldn't find on the
They couldn't
internet.
find out on nothing. I'm not on any social media, so there's no way.
Yeah, I've always said that, when it comes to, reading me, I've had 3 readings, nothing too crazy, but all 3 have swung and miss completely. And because I'm not the one that's going to sit there and coddle their feelings and their ego and say, oh yeah, that's, I can say that, you're pretty close on that. No, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Nope. Well, I guess they're like,
agree.
well, I guess the spirits aren't really, coming through tonight. Of course.
Got the wrong spirit talking to me.
Yeah, I got the wrong one. Yeah, got the wrong spirit.
We'll make them come.
This one over here should be talking. This one isn't.
Yeah, they got that spirit. Looks like they've been that spirit too much through the bottle.
Yeah, I would prefer somebody tell me that I'm not getting nothing than to make shit up.
Yeah.
That's me. But I have never gotten a reading that has been valid for me, and they tell me that they can't read me. But the thing is I'll tell you anything you want to know about me. That's the thing. If you want to know something about me, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So nobody could read me because it's all out there.
Yeah.
The only things that they might come back to me with certain things that I said 10 years ago that aren't true now, but were true back then. So we all change. But we do have a question for you from Gary, and he asks, what is your favorite piece of equipment for the paranormal?
Oh, my that's easy. My Zoom H4n recorder. Absolutely.
Why is that?
What was that?
Why the Zoom?
The quality. I'm a big EVP guy. I am like live or die by the EVP. To me, it's the most intimate piece of evidence that a spirit can give you. I mean, they took time out. They spent that energy just to try to talk to you. And I think the EVP is just like a very intimate piece of evidence. So I love EVPs, and the Zoom recorder is very high quality, and it's the quality of the audio is just superb. And you could listen to live EVP through it. You can put your headphones on and listen live, and as things are coming through. And it's just the Zoom recorder is mainly used. It started off as it's for music. They use it for recording and stuff like that. But it's so pristine. The quality is so good that when I went from using my my Samsung recorders from my phones, which I love still, which I don't use as much anymore, but I still love them. From when I went from that to the Zoom recorder, I was just completely blown away, and that's why I love that Zoom so much, is because I'm such an EVP, a lover of EVPs, and the quality is just fantastic, and nothing, you can hear a mouse fart on those things, which can also be a bad thing too, because if you're in if you're hearing noises from down the hall, you got to be really aware of your surroundings when using something like that, because it can pick up a lot of audio, or a lot of
noise.
Yeah.
I
used their laptop, and we were picking up road noise
from a ways away,
outside,
from Katie's place,
away.
from Katie and Katie's their little historical society. We had spent the night there, and we got all kinds of road noise. But everybody used to tease that I had a mouse fart mic on my computer for my show. So when you said that, it just made me laugh, because I used
psychic.
to do my My
Yeah.
show used
Watch
to
it.
be done from my bed. You know, Ron would be across the room, and it was all audio, so nobody could see us. So I would just sit in the bed and I would do my show, and Ron would be in a office chair, and every time he moved, it would make a sound, and everybody could hear it. I couldn't
Mhm.
hardly hear it,
This
but
is a crappy chair.
my computer could really hear it.
Yep.
It
Right.
could hear the cats purring. If the cat got up next to the computer, you could hear it purring. It was hilarious. So, but yeah, I have a mouse fart mic on my computer, so I understand.
Yeah, the Zoom recorder is my favorite device. Piece of paranormal equipment. I also like my SB11 Spirit Box. I know it's a very controversial piece of equipment, but because obviously it's in essence a broken radio. Obviously, it's a Spirit Box, but man, I've had some communication through there that I bought it as a skeptic, but it sold me um, over the years, and I still use it like it's definitely a piece of art. It's in my arsenal. Every investigation, I use my Spirit Box, my SB11. So
What?
I'll say go ahead.
So when you're talking about that, you said EVPs are your bread and butter. What has been the best EVP you ever got?
Oh, that one's easy too. 2021 September, and I remember this to the day, September 1st, 2021, at the Monroe House in Hartford City, Indiana. We just left Randolph County Asylum. It was me and my old teammate Sean. We just left Randolph Asylum, which is about an hour away from the Monroe House. Both very, very active locations. And we went from that location, drove an hour to the Monroe House. We were going to have the Monroe House from noon until 10 the next morning. And it was just me and Sean, and we got in there. We sat down. The owner said, "Oh, yeah, go ahead and let yourself in. Here's the code to the door. Come in whenever you're ready." So we got in, put our stuff in there. We were tired. We were lounging around, just kind of relaxing for the first hour or so. And I was like, "All right, Sean, well, I'm gonna go and start, getting my stuff out and start, putting my on the stands." And I opened my box, and to the right, there's a kitchen to the right, and the door was open to the downstairs kitchen. And I'm sitting there, and I'm getting stuff out. The next thing you know, I hear this, and this is not the EVP itself, but I'm kind of leading up to how it happened. Um, I heard something grab the doorknob and shake the hell out of it, like somebody was trying to get out the door, and it's like yank, 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 yank. And I stopped and I looked at Sean. I said, "Man, you fucking hearing that, dude?" He said, "Yeah, it sounds like somebody's rattling that door across on the other side of the kitchen." So I grabbed my recorder, went in there immediately, and started doing EVP work. Didn't catch anything. So things calmed down. I said, all right, Sean, I'm gonna go ahead and start. I'm gonna go ahead and start taking cameras upstairs and start setting them up. Sean said, "All right, don't you think we should I think I'm gonna leave a recorder over by that door." I said, "Okay, that's cool. That makes sense to me." So he said he got his recorder, got it ready, and he was going to slide it up underneath, like he was going to put it underneath the door, and it wouldn't fit. So he just kind of leaned it you know up against the door and just left it there. About 20 minutes into that, and I didn't know this until we got home until Monday when he started reviewing his audio. He called me up. I was walking my dog. He said, "Hey," he called me. He calls me P Dog. He said, "Hey, P Dog." He said, "Man, dude, I think I just caught a baby, man, crying at the Monroe House." I'm like, "A baby? Really?" I said, "Okay." I said, "Are you sure it wasn't, something else like a squeaky door or something?" He said, "No, man, dude. I'll send it to you, man. There's no mistaking this." He sent me the audio, and my jaw just like to the ground. It was about 17 seconds long. It was a baby crying, like cooing, and you know, for 17, like, she was whining, you hear her fussing and everything, clear as day. loud as, I mean, it was loud. I mean, it was like literally like it would sound like a baby was in the room. And we had other pieces of audio running, and nothing was captured except on that recorder. That in itself was the craziest EVP that I've ever captured in my life, and to this day, I listen to it still and just am completely blown away by it. About 16 minutes, 16 seconds worth of crying and cooing and all that stuff like that. That is definitely the most craziest EVP that I've ever captured. And yeah, and I sent it to the owners, and she was like completely floored. And something else that kind of ties into that, and it might not be directly linked to it, but it's just kind of a coincidence. Um, the owner, and I can say this because it's going to be released to the because the actual EVP is going to be included in a documentary coming up of the Monroe House that's called I can't remember, the Unbound, Evil on Earth or something like that, and by Matt Benton and Joe Vitale. And yeah, this EVP is actually going to be included in that. So, and what I'm about to tell you is actually going to be included in that as well. So I can actually say something about it now. But because I was told not to say anything because um, the mother of the baby is still living in Hartford City at the moment. She sent me kind of an obituary that said that there was a baby that died in the house 20 years 2001 20 years to that day, or 2001, 20 years to that day that a baby died in that house. Now,
Oh, wow.
was it the same? I mean, I can't say. I can't say if it was the same baby or if it wasn't. But
It is a
but
coincidence, though.
it's a very strong coincidence. And you know, and then when Nick and Katrina from Paranormal Lockdown came through the Monroe house, um, they um, the the mother, the lady that was in the obituary, her baby, she talked to Pam and Eddie before, and she was really freaked out. She was really upset when Paranormal Lockdown came through and did the Monroe House. But the simple fact is, Nick Groff and Katrina Weedman said that there was demons in the house,
Yeah.
and it really upset the woman because she believed that that baby was still in that house when she was living there. That the baby, that she could hear the baby crying,
Yeah.
that she could, sense that the baby was there. She could hear him, cooing and crying and stuff like that. So she still believes that the spirit of that baby was still in that house, and she was really freaked out because Nick and Katrina was saying, that, they labeled it the Monroe Demon House, and it really upset her. So that made me think that, man, if she thought that the baby was still in that house, there's a probably good possibility, there's a chance that that baby I caught on that EVP might have been that woman's baby. And yeah, it was.
Sound like you're in that Monroe house quite a bit, aren't you?
Yeah, I've investigated quite a few times. I've caught some pretty cool shit out there before, man. Like I told, a lot of people come to me because they know I've been to the house many times, and they always ask me for advice. What should I do? I'm going to the Monroe House for the first time. Do you have any advice to give me? I said one thing is go in there. Don't listen to all the, to all the hoopla that other people have talked about. Don't listen to other people's experiences. Go into the Monroe House and have your own experience. And my second piece of advice, I said, if you're going to set up equipment, take a recorder, stick it in the downstairs kitchen, push record and leave it and let it run. Because I've been to Row House quite a few times, and almost every time I put a recorder in the kitchen, push record and leave it, as soon as I shut the door, I mean, seconds after I shut the door, you start hearing these whispers. Hey, he shut the door. What a bitch. And you'd hear these whispers, conversations going back and forth. But one time, one of the times I put a recorder in there, this was very bizarre. it was about a six. It was about a. It started. It was about 16 minutes long, but it was on and off. Started and then ended, on and off for about 16 minutes. It was two. You could hear it was a conversation going on. Usually, it was only a one-sided conversation. You could tell that there was two people talking because it was, But at the
Yeah.
end, I caught two voices. It said it was a whisper. It says, "You're terrible, so terrible," and then this other really pronounced voice says, "The earth can't hear us. The earth can't hear us." Clear as day. I mean, it was a whisper. Obviously, it wasn't like a full-on vocal tone voice, but it was a whisper. It says, "The earth can't hear us." Clear. You could. I mean, it was a whisper that was very pronounced, easily understood. I mean, I understood the first time I heard it. I'm like, she's saying the earth can't, or that voice is saying the earth can't hear us. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, if the earth can't hear us, if that's what he's saying, then where the hell is he coming from? Where's
Yeah,
he
that's what I
speaking?
was
Where's he speaking? From?
Right.
If he can sense us, I don't know if he could sense us being there. He might have been talking to the other spirit and had no idea that we were there, but we caught that voice that picked it up, and yeah, it was pretty wild. Yeah.
Have you caught the same voice multiple times at the Monroe house?
Yeah, multiple times in different locations. The first time, and other people have caught it too. It was called the Blue Room, and I had the Blue Room. I set up a camcorder in the corner, and I had the video, and I walk up to the camcorder and I go, like okay, it's on, cool. And me and Sean started walking out. The next thing you know, he got pelted in the leg with a rock. And at about that time, you heard this woman say, "Running." Just a woman said, "Running," and we didn't hear that voice. We were still in the room when that voice was. I was still walking out of the room when that woman said, "Running." A year later, in the kitchen, same thing. I had a camcorder setting up in the kitchen, and you can hear the same woman a year later saying "running," but it sounds further away. You can tell it's the same voice, but it sounds further away, which makes sense if the EVP was originating from that other room because it was super loud and clear. Then you would think that an EVP come from that room in a different location would be quieter, which it was. It was the same lady saying "running." Well, a guy that's done that, a guy that's also investigated Monroe House quite a bit, he said he's caught that voice too, saying "running." You know, they're not the ones that would come across as putting, speakers in the houses. I mean, I've known Pam and Eddie for a long time, and that's when you hear stuff like that, you can't help but think, okay, is there something that's being, other speakers in there or something, No, I don't think so. Especially
And now
when
they're
this,
so small.
Right.
huh?
Now
Yeah,
speakers are
yeah,
so small that
yeah.
you may not even know that there's one in the light.
Although I do know, like I said, I do know that when I heard that running, the first one, the one in the blue room, I didn't hear any. I mean, obviously it was that loud. It was definitely EVP because I didn't hear anything. I was still in the room when that voice happened, and I would have heard it. I mean, I would have, if I'd have heard a woman say it running, I'd be like, "Oh, damn, did you hear that?" You know?
Yeah.
No. But yeah, that's I've caught that multiple times, twice, about almost exactly a year apart, in different
So
areas of the
probably
house.
a residual.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Same as the baby could be residual, that it's not really there. It's just an echo that's in the house.
Yeah, yeah. The stone tape theory,
That's
or
what you'd hope, with at
yeah,
least with babies. I would think that babies would be that they would cross over naturally.
naturally, yeah,
That they wouldn't stay, that they would see somebody on the other side that they loved and they would go.
Right.
But again, don't know. Don't know. I haven't died yet, so
are they still alive on a different plane of existence? Are we tapping into another? It's like, have the whole multiple dimensions, the multiple layers. Are they still living in their own existence, and that timeline just happened to cross at that time, and we're picking up their audio? Are they picking up us on their end? Are they picking up my voice on their side of the spectrum? I
Yeah.
know that I've been in contact with a kid like constantly at a place called the Old Kosciuszko County Jail, and it's a sheriff's and a sheriff's residence in the same building. You know, it's when the old the jails used to have the sheriff's
Yeah.
residence. And I was in contact. I've been in contact with a kid up there for the past 4 years, and I he's very vocal. And I asked him one day. I said, "Okay, I thought I talked." And it sounds like the same kid I used to talk to at a place called Graceland Cemetery. And so one day I was like, "So are you the same kid?" I said, I'm trying to piece this together. I said, all of a sudden, I come in contact with this kid at the cemetery or at the jail, and it sounds like the same kid. I said, "Are you the same kid that I'm talking to?" And he said yes. He vocally said yes. So I'm thinking he either followed me from the sheriff's residence to the cemetery, or vice versa.
Could he be
So, and
related to both places?
what's that?
Could the child been related to both places? Could he have been like
I don't know.
a young thief that died at jail and got buried in the graveyard?
I have no idea, but I know it's a young kid, and I take him toys all the time. He tells me what he wants, and I drop him off. I'll tell him, "What do you want?" And I've had him. I mean, not spirit box communication. I'm talking about straight up EVP communication in the middle of the cemetery at 2 o'clock in the morning, telling me that he wants a blue train. I'm like, "What do you want?" He said, "I want a train. What color? Blue." Okay, so I'll take him. I'll plop my ass right down on the tree stump and order Amazon blue train, punch up toy, have it sent to me in 2 days, and drop it off to him at the tree stump over there. And I've dropped him off suckers. Me and my old teammate would drop off suckers to him and baseballs, and these are things that he's actually told us that he wanted. Do you want anything else besides toys? Suckers. Okay, cool. So my buddy Sean went and picked up a little, 4 or 5 suckers, drove it over there, and before he got out of the car, as soon as he stepped out of the car, he had his recorder running. You heard this little kid say, "Thank you." I mean, fucking loud, man. It's like loud. It's like it's right there. It's like he saw him drive up and like ran out there to wait for him to open that door. "Thank you." And he put the suckers right there in the ground. I mean, that's how that kid is. He will tell us what he wants, and we'll bring it to him. Sometimes he'll tell us what he wants through the spirit box, but it's a kid telling us through the spirit box too. And so we take him stuff over there. I haven't been over there in a while though. It's been about 3 or 4 months since I've been over there.
Do you go to a lot of graveyards?
That's about the only one I go to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I used to go to a few other ones early on, when we first started investigating, but Graceline's the only one I go to now, if I go. We've we developed such a bond connection with that kid that we try to go over there and mainly focus on talking to him, and that's about it.
Is there any place that you've been that you didn't get an EVP at?
No.
No.
Well, back in the day when we were doing cemeteries, I went to a place called Rice Cemetery, Rice Cemetery, and I didn't catch anything over there. That's probably the only time I've ever went to a location and never caught an EVP. No, it's kind of started drying up a little bit. Like I said, I've taken I haven't been on an investigation since January, and I've noticed I went to a few locations, late last year into early this year, and I noticed things started drying up a little bit, and it hasn't been as active. And I don't know, it just seems weird, and I kind of started back. That's when I kind of started backing away from the field a little bit, started concentrating on my astrophotography. Um, I just thought to myself, man, am I just is I believe in frequency, a lot of vibration, that how we resonate can affect if they want to talk to you or not. That's just an opinion of mine.
Right.
If you go in with this negative mentality, they'll pick up on that vibration. They might not want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Back in those, middle last year, through last year, I was kind of really irritated, with the whole, paranormal field in general, and I felt like maybe I was giving off a bad vibe, and I was like, okay, maybe maybe I just chalked it up to that or something like that. And I've slowly been trying to be more positive and have more of a positive mindset, not letting those things get to me and stuff like that. But I think I think time away from the paranormal has actually did me some good when it comes to just um, my own personal uh, uh, yeah, trying to get back on track again. I should say that's probably what just trying to get myself back on track again. I'm getting the urge to go back to to investigate again, and so I want to get back to it soon because right now the weather's not cooperating with my photography stuff. So it's been cloudy and rainy, and when it is clear, it's a weeknight. I got to work the next day, so I can't really go out and do too much in photography. Because my location's like an hour away that I go to, and then with the long the short nights of summer, I don't have a whole lot of time to take photos anyway. So um, I do want to start getting back into paranormal investigating again. I'm getting that itch to want to do it again. So I think I might start, you know, kind of planning some stuff in the next couple months. But being by yourself though, it's
Yeah.
hard because it's expensive. I don't want to book a $1,000 investigation and pay it all by myself. So I got to be choosy
Yeah,
on
it's no
where I
fun going
go.
by yourself anyway.
Yeah, yeah. I did the Monroe House by myself. I did the old Blackford County Jail by myself. Um, did cemeteries by myself. Did Graceland by myself. Um, it is better with other people. It really is. It's but I'm not looking to be a part of a team right now. So I think I'm just going to continue to do things by myself um until things until I feel confident about getting back with a team or something. But right now I'll probably just do things by myself. But you're right.
It's easier to plan
Yeah, it is.
because you only have to worry about one person.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, I miss investigating with my old team. I do. Sean and Sam, they got their own team now. They're having a great time. I do miss them, and do miss investigating. But we're still friends and everything. Maybe one day down the road, we'll all get together and do it again. Uh, but I didn't expect them to wait. I was the one taking a break. I didn't expect them to sit there and wait for me to be ready. If you have a passion for something, you got to keep your foot on the pedal and keep going, and that's what they did. And I'm not mad at them, and but yeah, me and Sean we had a connection. When it comes to investigating, we've been friends for 30 some years, so it's like we had a good thing. We had a connection going. It's just it was just a bad time. Things were just it just felt like it had to happen. The break.
Everybody needs a break every now and
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
And the minute you guys get back together, it's going to be like no time has passed.
Yeah. Like I said, we still talk. We're still friends. And he just called me last I think it was Sunday, I think it was, and told me a cool experience he had down at the old Kosciuszko County Jail, the one I was just telling you guys about.
Mhm.
And he was telling me about it. Pretty cool experience. And so I was like, we were talking about 20, 30 minutes. So that was kind of cool. But yeah,
You live in a large Bigfoot area. So do you
You do?
ever experience Bigfoots out there?
I live in the city. I don't ever no. I mean,
You know what I
uh,
mean? Indiana's known for having some Bigfoots.
yeah,
So
yeah. I've never. I mean, I've heard people talking about it, but I've never personally went out and like on my own, and personally went out and hunted for Bigfoot. But I've heard a lot of stories, especially like out to the east a little bit. Yeah.
do you have any thoughts about Bigfoot?
Um. Let me see. I I think I think there's too many. I guess all I can say is I think there's too many experiences, too many people talking about it. It has to be. I just don't think there can be that many people. I mean, I guess people can take stories and run with it, but I think it is a good possibility that it does exist. I just think there's too many experiences to say, no, there's no way that people are just seeing things or lying about it. Um, so yeah, I think there's a very good possibility that Bigfoot does exist. I think there's just too many people having experiences to like completely write it off as being fake or not true. So yeah, I think
Maybe that's where your camera could come in handy.
yeah, maybe
See if it catches anything going through the woods. Because
I have a lot of experiences, but I haven't seen good enough evidence.
Yeah.
No,
Why is every picture blurry?
Yeah,
that's the whole thing. They want to make you think they got it, but they don't want you to like sit there and break it down. And be like, oh yeah, that's not real, dude. See, like it's like with me when it comes to like pictures and stuff like that. I've seen, I've never seen anything. I've been investigating for over 7 years now, and I have never seen a shadow figure. I have never seen an apparition. I have never seen a mist. I've never seen anything. I've seen nothing, and I've heard a lot. I've caught a lot of EVP. Heard a lot of. I've had poltergeist activity happen and stuff like that. But I've never seen a ghost before. I've never seen a spirit. Never seen an apparition. Never seen a shadow figure. I'm still waiting to see that first one. And I see all these other people going, oh my gosh, oh yeah, I see them all the time. It's like, okay, what am I doing wrong, dude? It's like, come on,
They don't always make themselves available to everyone. It's just like Sasquatch or Bigfoot. Yeah. It doesn't make itself available to everyone. And Charles Rudd says that he believes in Sasquatch and that they're watchers. And that,
yeah.
Like I said, until I have an experience. And apparently,
they're hiders.
Yeah, they're really good hiders. Yeah,
they're the best. Yeah,
hide and seek.
Hide and seek champion of the world. The hide and seek champions.
But, we were watching an old BFRO, whatever that was. I forgot what that was called. Bigfoot
research.
I know that. I know what it stands for. But the show where they had Matt Moneymaker and all them on it.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So they had that on, and we were watching an old
Finding Bigfoot, I think it is.
Yeah, Finding Bigfoot.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
So found out that not too far from where we live, there's a lot of Bigfoots. I have to say,
maybe an hour.
If there was that many Bigfoots in this area,
just
the stench of the sweating would make you go, yeah, that's something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and do you think a Bigfoot can take an alligator? Based on what I saw with the bear video recently,
pretty easy.
The bear just whacked the alligator and went swimming, and then another one came up and he whacked it, and he kept on swimming. The bear won.
Yeah.
So, can the swamp ape beat out an alligator? Apparently so.
Yeah. Well, I think that most of swamp apes are, I guess those, a lot of the Sasquatches and Bigfoots are 6, 7, 8 foot tall and probably weigh, 800-900 pounds. About the size of a bear. So if he has that much power, I'm sure he can put the hurt on an alligator too.
Yeah, I just wonder what the effect would be on a bull shark.
Huh.
Great white. Yeah. And recently we've had orcas down here in the Gulf.
Did you use a FLIR camera?
My Sean, my teammate, the one I was talking about, he has a FLIR camera. Really good, really nice one. So we used it a little bit. We purchased equipment. He took his equipment, I took mine. He has a FLIR camera. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking to get one, but I want to use it. We're going to do a lot of outdoor stuff, and that's really where I want to use it. A lot of Civil War battlefields.
Nice.
That's
Gettysburg. Yeah.
Well,
I think that's gonna get me the best.
yeah, we have a whole bunch of forts down here, because
Yeah.
of Mobile Bay and
Yeah, if I'm a catcher or
Pensacola.
anything, I think that's gonna be my best shot.
Yeah. Yeah, their flares are cool, especially with the laser. With the laser focus, the guy, the laser guy, because his has like a laser pointer, and it'll, you can point it at a certain area, and it'll obviously take, read the hot temperature and then the coldest temperature in the actual frame, and you could take stills, you could take video, you could take still shot, take still pictures with it and everything, with just a push of a button. It's a very crisp, clear. It's a very crisp and clear picture too. Like a nice. It's not all fuzzy. It's like nice and it's a very cool. It's a very cool device.
Yeah, I know. I would love.
Do you know which one he has?
Um, yeah, I was just looking one up recently. Let me find it real quick. I should.
I'm looking to get one. I'm just trying to figure out which one.
I think the one he has is a.
They got hundreds of them.
Yeah. I was just looking at it too.
They have the actual gun, or does he have the one that adapts to the phone?
It's a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me find it real quick. It's a
Yeah.
FLIR.
You just said it had to be a gun.
It's a T. I had it right here. Oh, I can't find it. I want to say it's a. Oh no, I can't find it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. It's a the one he has is a FLIR TG-165. I think it's the one that has the yeah, I think it's the one with the laser on it. Let me make sure that's the one. I'm pretty sure that's the one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the FLIR one. Yeah, the FLIR TG-165. This one is about almost $400.
That's it.
Because I remember it had the.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot more expensive than that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds
What
like
that
it
one
should be
does.
more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think it's the one. I've seen some of those FLIR cameras like $10,000-$15,000 a piece.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah, the
yeah.
ones
Yeah.
the fire department
The
uses
fire department,
are.
exactly. That's
Yeah.
what. Yep, exactly. So.
Yeah, I haven't used one. I used one at work once, but that was it.
Yeah.
We were trying to
Yeah.
see how hot the cell phones were getting. It was back when they were flip phones.
This will rotate and follow it.
Oh, so you have a pan, tilt, and zoom that's motion sensitive.
Yeah. What it is if I can get this up here. Okay. You can put your phone in here, turn your camera on, right?
Yep.
There's a camera right here. Push the power on. This camera here watches you or whatever's in front of it.
Yeah. It
And,
just follows you.
and when it follows in motion, and I'm going to hold the base and it'll turn and follow.
Timu?
Yep. Exactly. And it works fantastic. I've tried it out several times with the camera and even on live shows. Use it and move around and it'll move.
It doesn't make you look like you're just jerking everybody around?
No, you give it, you can set it up for the movement by giving it the hand control or the stop control and everything. Once you get that set, you can walk away from it, and anything that moves in front of that camera there, this will follow it around.
Made in
Yeah, it was
China?
only like $18.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. I'm going to try that. And it tilts in any direction. So if you had the gun and had it sitting in there with the gun there and turn that around with the gun facing the area you want, and then that camera pick it up, it would move.
Mm-hmm.
See? And it sits on a tripod. So
Well, that's
you
good.
could do anything on it. But yeah, this thing and rechargeable and everything. And if you're going to
You
use it
use your
for a
mic
long time,
stand too.
huh?
Use your mic stand.
Yeah, I could put it on the mic stand and put my mic on it and move around, and my mic would follow everything around on it. So, yeah, it was one of them products I wasn't for sure about. Ordered it and went, oh, you know what? That worked out pretty good.
Does it make noise?
No, hardly anything at all. You'll hear a little when it
Yeah,
moves.
when it's moving.
Nothing major.
That's good to know.
Yeah, I mean, comes in real handy.
Well, let me see if I got a message from Phil.
Yeah. Like, what
Yes, I
happened?
do.
Oh,
He said something popped up on his screen. It said something went wrong. Try again. So
Took a screenshot of it.
he sent it to me. We are still here. Can everybody still hear us and see us?
it shows we're still live.
Yeah,
I
still
know it
live.
does. Charles, Mom, Susan,
I'm going to
somebody.
go over on Facebook and see what's going on here. I'm looking here.
Yeah, Gary said yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
Yeah, I
still
think
live.
something happened on his, and he dropped out
Yeah, something happened.
all
Yeah,
of a
your
sudden.
mom said yes and everything. Yeah, because it shows we're still live and everything's not clicked off up there at the top. So, but
The thing is we were getting close to the end anyway. So it was off a couple of minutes.
Huh.
Huh.
I didn't see nothing pop up saying we were off.
Huh. Oh, well, not much we can do about it, but
No,
I think we're going to call it a night here.
right.
So I've been having a migraine today, so I'm lucky I've gone this long. So,
Oh my.
I know it's kind of scary to see that I can act this well when I have a migraine, right?
Yeah.
But I'd like to thank everybody for listening to us, and please join me next Monday night at 7 p.m. Central for the Paranormal Pride. My guest will be Teal Gray. She's an author and a podcaster and a native Texan. So she is going to be a great guest. She used to have her own show on the previous network that I was on. So it will be good to talk to her. And we'll see you guys also here next Tuesday night at 5 p.m. Central with whoever we find that we think you guys would love to hear from. And if you have any ideas, send me a message. Let me know, and I'll see if they can come on.
Let us know.
We run out of thoughts after a while.
Right.
So,
but we want to thank Temple of Phoenix Rising Entertainment's Facebook page for letting us go live. Things Network's Facebook page, and of course my Bill of Rights Network page, and Japan Paranormal. Hello. Sorry that we can't set it up over there right now, but you got it over on that page following Born DB on Rumble. So everybody have a good evening, and we'll see you next week here on Paranormal Nation Radio. Not so normal. Have a good evening.
All right.